My friend Ann Coulter has been on board the whole time, although last night I almost called you and told you that you were just such a downer with Florida. Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Ann, you there?
Yes.
Okay.
You cut out. All I heard you say was you've been waiting for this for a long time.
That's right. And then
I think the Russians cut in.
Oh,
or
something.
Hillary would say that.
Exactly. Well, no, I said you've been, you've certainly been one of the biggest Trump supporters out there. But last night, I heard you say that you didn't think he was going to win Florida. And I don't know who gave you that impression, but he's going to win Florida.
Well, what I was saying technically was, that would be huge. Mm-hmm. It was never part of my. I had a, electoral paths to victory. What's that noise? Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear anything.
Okay, there is definitely something wrong with my feed. First, I couldn't hear you at all. Now that I'm hearing you and a crowd there, I think it went away. Okay. I wrote a column back in March. I think it was titled "It's Only Trump," arguing with Republicans that we have to have a nominee who not only wins Mitt Romney states but has to pick up new states. And so in that, I just sort of I didn't even include Florida as one of his pickups. Though I will say, if he wins Florida, that would be fantastic. I did have Pennsylvania as a possible pickup, and there are many paths for Trump. He doesn't absolutely need Florida or Pennsylvania. I think if he doesn't take either of those,
he's going to get them both. I'm telling you, it's going to be 40 plus. I'm predicting it could be as high as 44 states.
It's possible. It's funny. Already today, I've gotten 2 reports of registered Republicans, one a trucker, one an elderly woman being prevented from, obviously Trump voters, being prevented from voting in Pennsylvania. And this is from a longtime friend of mine, not just some random, posting someplace. He emailed me because he talked to these people today before noon. And I thought, that's why Republicans can't win Pennsylvania, because they're cheating.
Yeah, well, listen, and I've always said that that's a possibility, but I think the momentum is so strong right now that you'd have to do an enormous amount of cheating to upset the apple cart. And I remember when Ronald Reagan, the day before the election, he was down by 4 points, and they just don't know how to measure the crossover vote of Democrats, especially those blue-collar Democrats who are going to vote for Donald Trump. They don't measure it. They don't measure the silent majority of evangelical Christians who did not come out in the last 2 elections in sufficient numbers, who are coming out this time.
I hope you're right. Part of the reason I've always thought, and I guess I haven't really ever changed my position, but basically from Trump's announcement speech, 90% chance of winning the nomination, 60% chance of winning the election. That still leaves a large percentage that's it, the country is over. So part of the reason I'm feeling nervous today is the night we find out. Have Democrats already wrecked the country? But the other thing is I'm in New York. I'm doing a lot of media, blacklisted from American media where I might affect voters, but I can do loads of foreign media. And just listening to, you know it every time you turn on TV. I just hope voters are not turning on the TV.
That's what I say.
Been nonstop slander, and I can't even deal with it all. The mocking the disabled reporter, and he's insulting everyone. No, he's defending the American people, and all that happens is the ruling class slanders him day in, day out. It's just too much to deal with, and with the media, that counts for probably about 8 percentage points of the vote. How many the suggestible / stupid voters who are influenced by these lies.
But I also think that in that group of the suggestible stupid voters are a number of people who are just so disenfranchised right now and so turned off by this blather that they're not coming out at all. And so I can just take them out of the equation, at least 4% of them. Yeah. Take them out of the equation. They're not motivated to vote. They don't like Hillary Clinton. So
nobody really likes Hillary.
So there's no motivation there. And what I do see is a tremendous amount of people who look, this is a country that's built on what my friend calls underdogma. We like the underdog. If everybody's attacking somebody, then we come to their rescue. And I think this has backfired on the media. I think the fact that they've been relentlessly attacking Donald Trump and never been able to prove squat, that the public has said, we're sick and tired of them, doing this. We don't even like him, but we're going to stand with him.
Right, right. No, I do think there's something to that.
Yeah.
There have been polls going back for like 50 years on do you trust various institutions, trust the government, trust the military, trust the media? Do you think the government is working for the best interests of the American people? Needless to say, that one has completely collapsed. Not that long ago, 20, 30 years ago, the majority, about 70% of Americans said that most of the time they think the government is working on behalf of the American people. Now it's around 20%. Trust in the media is the lowest it's ever been. But, people often say, oh, yeah, I don't believe the media, but still, the constant repetition, it gets into their brains. It's like 1984 with...
Yeah, it's the Mandela effect. Yeah, I know. I hear you, but I think that there's too much anger at what's really happening in the streets, and that offsets some of what we've been talking about. Because let me tell you something. If you have a college-age student in your household, and you can no way figure out how you're going to be able to do anything with this kid once he graduates from high school, you can't afford college, he can't stay here, and he can't get his own place and a job, then you're ticked off in a way that is not measurable. You're not the kind of person who stands at the water cooler in the afternoon to discuss, politics from some lofty...
Right, or the groping quotes. No,
right.
You're totally right. And the other thing is, the New York Times can keep boasting about how, we added 100,000 jobs, and look, according to our statistics, the economy's never been better.
Right.
But still, people know. They know they're not making as much money, at least in real dollars, that they don't have as much money to spend on things as they did 10, 20 years ago. They don't expect to do as well as their parents, to say nothing of better than their parents. They know we need jobs. And both political parties, until Trump remade the Republican Party, they swear they're going to bring back jobs, they're going to help the middle class, they're going to help the working class, and then they get elected and say, what can we do for you, Wall Street? Right. Oh, I'm sorry, middle class and working class, we're not going to be able to get to you.
That's right.
But Trump, the one thing you have to know with Trump is, there are going to be a lot of good-paying jobs. He's bringing them back from Mexico. He's bringing them back from Asia, and certainly not sending them there with the Trans-Pacific Partnership deal. He's not going to keep dumping low-wage workers on the country or allowing Disney workers and Silicon Valley workers, and really all of us, to be replaced by cheap foreign labor. If people know what their own circumstances are, and they must have a sense, even if they're young, it doesn't have to be this way.
Right, and that's exactly the point that I think that is not measurable, and that because I'm a local radio host and not sitting in some lofty syndication tower where I'm trying to speak to everybody in the country, I know exactly what's going on in Florida, and people are feeling a pinch like they've never felt before, and they feel abused and they feel abandoned by government, and they are fighting mad, Ann. And the last time they were this mad, we had a Tea Party revolution that took the House. Okay, so I see that same sentiment, that fever down here that I saw back then. I drive around. I go from one county to the next. I never see a Hillary bumper sticker. I never see a Hillary sign. All I see is Trump Pence. I got tractor trailers with the entire side. Farmers for Trump. I mean, that's all I see, and it has to mean something.
No, you are right about that, and that certainly counterbalances what we keep hearing about. Hillary's ground game and the analytics and the computer work.
300 plus electoral votes.
Right. It's the
not
excitement
happening
for Trump. He is a genuine... there is genuine Trump fever as opposed to the Obama fever. It's similar to the Obama fever, but the Obama fever was ginned up by the media. It was in part a creation of the media. The Trump fever is against the media.
It's defiant.
Suppress it and denounce him. And still, I did a book signing out in New Jersey last weekend.
I know. I got a picture of you with Brian. He sent it to me.
Excellent. Well, we drove past as we're coming in. All these people were telling us about just this empty storefront, or it had been, that was filled up with huge Trump signs and Trump paraphernalia and cardboard cutouts of Trump. So we stopped there on the way back, and it was just the pub owner next door who happened to own it, and he said, hey, yeah, let's turn this into a Trump support center. It was lots of fun, lovely people, Trump wine. But my point is, they aren't coordinate. They don't know anyone who works for Donald Trump. They aren't being paid by the Trump campaign. This is pure, genuine citizen enthusiasm for the man.
Yep, and that's why I say you cannot trust the polls. They have no way of measuring that. But you can trust people like you and me who travel around and see the feeling out there. And, look, they can cheat, but I don't think they can cheat their way out of this one. She's too damaged. If it had been anybody but Hillary Clinton, they might have been able to put up a fight. But they had the most damaged person they could possibly put up against a guy who never says never.
Yes, and one other thing. I've noticed the media have been showing lots of Hillary speeches with all the celebrities, Bruce Springsteen and Beyonce. And they may think they're helping Hillary by running her speeches, but I'm thinking no. I think the more you hear Hillary, the more you think, I cannot listen to that voice for the next 4 years.
I know. Oh, God. It is. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Well, Ann, I hope that, in the morning, or tonight, I don't even think it's going to go late. Everybody's, in their brand new election headquarters, we'll be here till midnight. I don't think so. I think by 10 o'clock we're going to know.
Oh, I hope you're right.
Yeah, and when we do know, you can say Joyce was right.
Yes, I will.
Right.
And we'll have champagne.
Amen. And then, and let me tell you something. E pluribus Trump will be the biggest seller on Wednesday ever. So we got lots of reasons to be hopeful today. Remember, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Keep your faith.
Keep the faith. Thank you, Joyce.
All right, Ann. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.